Maybe I'm the only one, but my heart is broken for that little girl who sang the Moana song on the Delta plane. And don't get it twisted, two things can be true at once. I'm a mom of a 5 and a 2-year-old. We love Disney, we love Moana. And I don't care if it's Ahuli Cravalho herself. I probably just butchered her beautiful name. I apologize about that. I don't care. I don't want to be forced to listen to a song on an airplane PA system. However, I want to just know what was going through the parents' mind. So many parents are raising their children like this, and it creates this sense of entitlement that either gets them isolated from others because nobody wants to be around a kid like that, or B, it gets them bullied because they have no self-awareness and they stand up and do things like that. Like the little girl's 12, she should be learning like that skill, right? Like of reading a room, like what's appropriate versus what's not appropriate. And it kind of reminds me of a Bluey episode. And if you're familiar with Bluey, the naughty cousin Muffin goes over to Bluey and Bingo's house and they play library. And Bluey and Bingo are like, no, Muffin, this is how you play it. And they're trying to teach her. And eventually they're like, we don't want to play with her anymore because she's not playing it the right way. And Muffin's like, well, I don't have to play it the right way because I'm the most special kid in the world. Bluey goes and tells Muffin's dad, and Muffin's dad is like, oh, and he has to clarify because he told Muffin, you're the most special kid in the world. And then he has to clarify and say, well, to me, honey, to me and your mom, but not to the world. And parents are missing the mark. And this little girl is 12 years old. Okay, 12-year-olds are on TikTok. Her Bettys or her bullies have seen this, and either way, this girl's gonna have to go face them at school, okay? Like, I'm just so curious what the heck was going through those parents' minds in that moment.
I know everybody on this island has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can make us strong, I can lead.
So I'm a flight attendant for a major U.S. airline, and I keep seeing this discourse about Moana girl, the girl that sang on the plane.
No one knows how far it goes.
From my understanding, the flight was delayed. It was a ground delay. Unpopular opinion, but I don't see anything wrong with what the girl did. Airlines want you to make the customer happy, right? And I think that's what the flight attendant was doing. So everybody that's just like, oh, find the flight attendant who allowed this. I feel like people are making this bigger than what it is. To the people saying, if I was there, I would have jumped over the seat, and if I was there, I would have did this. If you were there, you wouldn't have done anything. How about we show this much of an uproar when flight attendants are being harassed? How about we show this much of an uproar about the flight attendant that got dragged down the aisle? I think it was a Chicago-based flight attendant, if I'm not mistaken. And another thing, the people that are trying to bring it onto the flight attendants, the people that are like, oh, we need to figure out who's the flight attendant that's responsible for this. Like, almost as if you want the flight attendant to get in trouble. What is your obsession with getting flight attendants in trouble with their company? This is the main thing. As a flight attendant, this is the main thing for us. If it's safety and security related, that's the main thing, especially like for the boss, for the big guy, you know, like that's when it's a big issue. So let's remember that this is public transportation. This is no different from going on the MTA and hearing showtime. And I'm just going to say something that I've heard other flight attendants say before in situations like these where you can't get people to agree on, you know, what should be acceptable in public transportation. If you want something a little bit more comfortable, maybe you should fly private.
Those poor hostages on that Delta Airlines flight, the minute that 12-year-old girl started up and can sing to Moana, you know the in-flight entertainment pauses when an announcement is made, so you can't do anything. You have to sit there and listen to her. And I would be upset if my flight was delayed 2 hours on the tarmac and a Broadway company started performing. People who are professionally trained performers and actors and singers who will sing their asses off. People pay hundreds of dollars to see them. I would still be upset because I don't want to be bothered. And yet, a 12-year-old girl getting on the mic with love to her, no formal singing training, singing Moana of all things, I think I would riot. You know those flight attendants got an email from Delta that there's a new policy that's just do not do that. And where are these little girls' parents? Because if I tried to get up and be like, you know what would really cheer people up? Me singing Moana, my dad would look at me and be like, sit your ass right back down. Sit your ass down. Because he understands how the world works. And no hate to this 12-year-old girl. This poor girl, her friends probably have TikTok, and she's probably getting flamed enough in her middle school, wherever she is. But, dear Lord, may this never happen to me.
You know, I think a lot of parents need to hear this. Nobody thinks that your child is as cute as you think your child is. If I was on that goddamn plane and that girl would have been singing for 45 minutes, matter of fact, the first 2 minutes, I would have got up and started booing. I would have just started booing her. Because shut up. Shut the hell up. I don't even think my own daughter is that goddamn cute. After 5 minutes of jumping around, I'm yelling, all right, sit the fuck down. Are you cool? Like, you gonna let her sing for 45 minutes? They deserve to be put on the no-fly list. No more flights for them. They need to drive. Let her do that shit in the car with y'all.
Delta responded to the viral Moana girl video. I'm not going to post the video. I do not want to contribute to this poor child's trauma that she will forever be known as Moana girl on the Delta flight. This was a bad look for her parents and a bad look for Delta. Before I tell you the response, let me tell you what my response would have been. I fly Delta all the time. If I were on this flight and saw that, this is what my response would have been. Ding. In the first page of responses. I'd rather be on Ocean Gate. That's dark humor, but that's funny. And also, I'd rather be on that flight. That's funny. Response. First of all, Newsweek, which it wasn't the Newsweek of 30 years ago. This is Newsweek more like who filed this was Rachel O'Connor. Good on you, Rachel O'Connor, Life and Trends reporter. Whenever I get a call from Newsweek, it's from a Life and Trends reporter because they do a lot of stories about what you see popping up online. They got a quote, and this is the only place where I see this quote. A Delta Airlines spokesperson told Newsweek, quote, "I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked." That's not the quote. That's my quote. Quote, "We appreciate the customer sharing her talents and apologize to our customers for the delay in their travels," end quote. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone, they do something wrong, and then they apologize, but they don't apologize for what they did wrong? That's exactly what this quote is. Really bad. It is so bad it actually makes me think this is a fake response. That's how bad a response this is. They're trying to be cute instead of contrite, which is what they need to be. Probably would not have had an official statement. I'll just say that. I probably would have just let it go. But internally, there would have been a statement because right now there are a bunch of flight attendants who are not happy about this. There are a bunch of flight attendants at Delta who want to know exactly who allowed Moana Girl to sing on their flight. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's an internal problem with Delta that bled into the internetverse. When passengers are stuck and they're annoyed, they do not want a concert. They want to know when they're going to get on the ground and why they're not on the ground.
No matter how hard I try, every turn I take, every trail I trek, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I...
Hi everyone, I'm Romeo, the man who filmed the girl singing Moana on the delayed Delta flight. After a few days and seeing how it went viral, I came here for a follow-up video. After reading the comments, I came up with some questions that I will answer. Stick to the video. Was it planned or spontaneous? From my side, I felt it was spontaneous. Everyone was dragged in, the battery was low, and suddenly she had a mic. I'm not sure who made the first move, if it was her family or the flight attendants, for example, but it was all unfolded in the moment, for sure. How did she get access to the intercom? The flight attendant actually made an announcement first. So she said that there would be a performance of How Far We'll Go by this little girl. Then she literally handed the mic, and it was like karaoke at 30,000 feet. For me, it was a totally surreal experience, even though I was, of course, tired as well. How did the other passengers react in real life? Based on the video, you could see that pretty much everyone was quiet, but I do feel like there was mixed emotions from everyone, I would say. But from my side, I can say that at the end, everyone was clapping and cheering for the girl, so no one was booing or being like rude at any point. And just to be clear, she only sang one song for like less than 2 minutes. So were the flight attendants okay with it? 100% yes. They really seemed so kind and supportive to the girl, and I think they knew like we all needed a mood shift in that moment, so it was nice, at least for me. Why would anyone sing during a flight delay? Because joy is free, and like sometimes in a moment like that, or you just sit quiet or you sing, you know, and she chose to sing. So let her do it. Weren't people annoyed? Some were, absolutely. Some were really touched as well. So that's internet and real life, to be honest. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Did I film this hoping it would go viral? No, literally not. I first posted as stories on my Instagram, and I was like, okay, let's keep it as a very nice memory from my 1-month vacation in the US and the surprise that I had on the delayed flight. So I just wanted to capture a moment. That was it. Who is the girl? Is she related to you? No, I'm not related to the girl. I'm just like a random passenger that was on the flight. She's just like a little amazing soul that had a dream and she went for it, you know. Yeah, I think that's it, the 8 questions I had. So thanks everyone who shared how this video or this moment made you feel. Not everyone felt good or bad, but that's what the stories are for. So thank you.